Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into today's episode, the Friday edition here of Winning Bets. We get to talk our sports and talk our sports betting as well. We're, of course, live every single day on YouTube at 11 a.m. Eastern. And today we're also going to be live on Twitter. So if you're out there on Twitter, what up? Welcome on into the MLB previewing every MLB slate. We are maybe also going to do a Premier League preview. I reached out to Matt. He said yesterday he wanted to do it today. And I haven't actually heard from Matt. Let me check and see if he messages me. Yeah, I haven't heard from Matt. So could just be an MLB preview. Could also be MLB and then Premier League after that. We'll just reach out to Matt in about 45 or so minutes and see what he's up to. So hope everybody's doing well. It's the weekend, baby. Let me know down in the comment section. Let me know what you're up to this weekend. Of course, we've got to go ahead and, of course, make sure we start with the recap from yesterday, and then we'll dive on into that MLB preview. We've got a really big MLB card today. I'm excited to break down these games and make some money with you guys tonight. Throwing up that recap, we of course only had the one play yesterday. It was in the Marlins and Rockies game. It was in the Nerfy, and I put here on the tweet the puke face. A lot of you guys got to hang out with me on YouTube as we watched this Nerfy unfold yesterday. Top of the first inning, relatively easy. 2 strikeouts, a walk, and I think it was a ground ball for Cabrera, but he just cruised through his top half. Peter Lambert, 2 straight singles to go ahead and open the game. And then we get the phantom call there by Adam Fletcher. He calls on would have been a 1-2 count, 4th pitch of the at-bat. He calls that a ball. It was on a curveball, and it was an absolute beautiful, a peach of a curveball there by Peter Lambert. One of those curveballs that starts off nice and high and then just drops into the zone. And you know what really frustrates me? That the fact that this umpire called it a ball is Jazz Chisholm didn't even try and sell it. Normal times you'll see the batter crouch down to try and sell that it was a high pitch. He didn't even do that. He just stood there, took the pitch, and the dude calls it a ball. Completely changed the entire course of that, bet for us. He then, of course, gets a single, which drives in the run. The next 2 batters fly out. That's it right there. If he's called out on strike, you can then absorb the next 2 guys flying out because nobody's on third base for it to be a sacrifice, fly. Guys are on first and second. So just brutal. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes, and the umpire clearly, made a mistake on that one. So that's the way she goes right there. But really a disgusting beat right there on that Nerfy. We deserved that cash and just couldn't quite get home for us. So that was the only play again on the card right there. Still very much positive on the week. Plus 4.52 units on the week. Good on arbitrage, and obviously MLB still humming along and doing just fine right there. But tripped up yesterday on that only play. So really frustrating stuff right there. All right. Hope everybody's doing good. Good morning, Brett. Hope you're doing well, my man. Let's go ahead and just dive on into this MLB preview. Again, I told you guys we've got a big card. Just excited to talk baseball, break this thing down with you, and let you know how we're going to put some money in your pocket on this great Friday. So with that being said, let's get on into the payoff pitch and let's hit it. All right, boys, welcome on into the payoff pitch where we preview every single MLB game every single day. You can see there's a menu there on your left-hand side. We'll work our way through that. We'll talk some games. We'll talk some pitching props, some hitting props. What's the Nerfy of the day? What's just your best bet, right? It's Friday. I'm going out on a Friday night, going to hit the town with the fellas, and I just need what's your best bet. I'll let you know what the best bet is. And then I have my favorite parlay of the night as well. I'll give you that in the 8th inning. We call it double play. But make sure you do hang around to the end because I'll give away a lot of bets over the course of the next half an hour or so, but not every single bet will make the card. Stay around till the closer inning and you'll find out which bets are on the card. I've got 8.5 units in play today. 9 bets, 8.5 units. I'm excited. Let's just jump on into it, boys. First inning, quick hits. That was the quick hits. What the hell? Let's just go right on in there around the bases. I like to take a couple games and around the bases and break them down, and you've got probably the marquee matchup of the entire weekend. We talked about it yesterday when we did our little look ahead on yesterday's show. It's Braves and it's Dodgers. This is going to get all the headlines for the obvious reasons. Probably the 2 best teams there in the National League hooking up this weekend in LA. I'm going to go ahead and dabble twice into this game. I'm going to go ahead and take that Dodgers on the money line. We know this Dodgers team, one of the hottest teams right now in terms of hitting right-handers, sitting top 3, hitting 298, slugging 497, and an OPS of 876 with a weighted weighted runs created of 150. And the thing that they're also not doing is they are not striking out. They are hitting the ball, obviously, with those stats. But when they're not, they're getting good productive outs as they're not striking out with a very low strikeout percentage of 14.6%. If we want to go ahead and compare those same numbers to the Braves, striking out a ton, 28.3%. Not hitting the ball worth shit. You just saw what happened in Seattle over the course of the last few nights. They're only hitting 215. They ain't got any goddamn power to plate right now at 279, OPS of 562, and a weighted runs created of 61. So you can see from a bats perspective, the Dodgers do it all better, and not just better. They're doing it substantially better. We do know, and I won't regurgitate the left-handed hitting numbers, but we recall from this week back in the Dodgers in a couple of spots against the Diamondbacks and their left-handers. We know the Dodgers also crush left-handers. So not worried about what handedness is going to come out of, that Braves bullpen. Then we want to go ahead and look at the bullpen stats. The Dodgers do it all better. Their ERA is 1.11. Braves ERA is 3.57. My whip is 1.11. Braves whip is 1.5. Opponent's batting average for the Dodgers is 200. For the Braves is 289. And the FIP is 2.95 for the Dodgers, and it comes in at 2.65 there for the Braves. So the only thing they do better than the Dodgers is the FIP, and it's just very, very marginally better. This Braves team is also giving up more home runs per 9, so it just checks all the boxes in terms of I'm getting the better offense, I'm getting the better bullpen. Am I getting the better starter in Gavin Stone over Charlie Morton? Probably not if we're being fair, but Gavin Stone being backed up by a really much superior bullpen gives me confidence that the Dodgers will come home with this one, and obviously the bats are right there as well. I mentioned having another bet in this game. We talked about the Dodgers, how great they hit, how much they avoid the strikeout. Going to go ahead and dabble on Charlie Morton under 5.5 Ks. Charlie Morton of the Braves under 5.5 Ks, plus 115. Stayed under in 2 of his 5 starts, but we're really obviously going to rely on the Dodgers. They're hitting, they're not striking out. Give me Charlie Morton under 5.5 Ks. Let's go ahead and catch another game here. Let's do Diamondbacks and the Padres. You knew this one was coming. I mean, these are numbers where we've been sitting here now. Hell, it's May? It's May 3rd. The baseball season started, what was that, March 28th? I think March 28th. We've been sitting here for a month, and we follow teams, right? We track last 10 days. What have you been doing recently? Because we know over 162 games, you're going to ebb and flow. The Diamondbacks, there's no ebb and flowing when it comes to right-handed hitting or right-handed, pitching. They suck all season long when it comes to hitting right-handers, and we know they've thrived all season long when it comes to facing left-handers. It's just been the story of their season so far, 1 month in. It'll change at some point, but so far a month in, it hasn't been. And obviously, we're going to go ahead and take that angle today with 2 right-handers on the mound. You've got Dylan Cease going up against Slade, something or other there. He's actually got a couple good starts so far on the season, but they're not hitting the ball. They're hitting 195 versus right-handers, only slugging 313 with the 581 OPS, and their weighted runs created is 70. Decent strikeout percentage at 23.9. Nothing that I would fade or tail from a strikeout percentage, but the Padres are just doing it all better. Their strikeout percentage is under 20 at 19.7. They hitting 290. They're slugging 425 with a 759 OPS and a weighted runs created of 122. So we're getting the hitting advantages. If I'm gonna go through these bullpen stats, and the bullpen stats are in our favor, and I'm gonna kill this Padres manager if he trots out a goddamn left-hander. I mean, look at the stats, man. They don't hit right-handers. They destroy left-handers. You better be deploying all your right-handers tonight at that bullpen, because the bullpen numbers are better than what the Diamondbacks are doing. So I'll go ahead and take the better ERA at 4.4 versus 4.8. I'll take the better FIP at 4.0 versus 5.2. I'll take the better whip at 1.2 versus 1.3. The only thing I do worse is opponent's batting average. I will give up more hits. I'm giving them up at a 254 clip, where the Diamondbacks come in at 173. So but then I'm doing a good job, obviously, from the FIP and the ERA, which is reducing the runs, even though I'm maybe giving up more hits. But I'm coming off an off day. I've obviously got my good arms in the bullpen fully rested, and let's try out every goddamn right-handed arm you've got out of that bullpen tonight. So I'll gladly go ahead and take the Padres on the money line at minus 102. I'm getting the better starting pitcher. I'm getting the better offense. I'm getting the better bullpen. Checks all 3 boxes. It's a no-brainer bet. Padres on the money line, minus 102. Moving to the 3rd inning now. We call it shut up and pitch, and let's do that. Let's go ahead and give out some pitching props. Let's look at Cal Quantrill. This is just funny, just because of how much Squirrel and I used to make fun of this guy from a name perspective, from a performance perspective. I'm going to go ahead and tail this guy, though, today. Cal Quantrill, over 15.5 outs, coming in here at minus 115. A little bit before I did the show, I just saw that it's about minus 110, so you can even get a little bit of a better price. He's on a nice roll. He's gone over this in 3 of his last 4 starts, so definitely some not so good starts to start it off, but you can see that he's kind of turned his season around. 3 of the last 4 have gone over. One of those was against the Phillies, which... Come on, guys. We know Phillies versus right-handers. How much have we been backing those Phillies lately? And he was able to go 6 strong against the Phillies, so you love that. And then what about the Pirates versus right-handers? How about the worst batting average at 164? How about the second worst on base percentage at 260? How about the worst slugging at 232? How about the worst OPS at 492? And how about your second worst weighted runs created at 46? If he's been able to do this in 3 of his last 4 up against opponents that, the Phillies had a really good, and one of them was the Mariners, I believe, which they struggle a little bit versus right-handers, to be fair, but you don't struggle more than league worst. Right? You're league goddamn worse. Nobody does it worse than you, and that's your Pittsburgh Pirates versus right-handers. So I'm going to go ahead and take Cal Quantrill over 15.5 outs at minus 115. The other one I want to look at, and this one didn't make the card, but maybe it makes a free roll. I mean, of course, I put a unit on it. Again, it didn't make the card, but maybe it makes a free roll. What is it? Ronel Blanco there of the Houston Astros over 17.5 outs. I'm just not a big guy of predicting somebody that goes 6 strong. I mean, look, he's done it in all but 1 start, and the 1 start that he didn't, he started off the 6th inning with giving up back-to-back singles, and then the manager went ahead and pulled him. That 6th inning, if you're running into trouble, it's usually sometimes even your 4th time through the rotation, certainly your 3rd time through the rotation, and if you start giving up hits, it's like, oh, well, everybody's batting average or opponent's batting average gets elevated, generally speaking, your 3rd time through it. The managers have a quick hook. But otherwise, other than that 1 start, god damn, he's gone over in every single one. We, of course, remember he threw the no-hitter earlier on this season. Mentioned the Mariners struggling versus right-handers. They're literally just above the Padres. They hit 188. I guess you can call it they slug. They don't slug much at 359. Their weighted runs created is 82 with a 612 OPS, and they strike out an awfully lot at 33.6%. He's got a high K number. It's justified, though, at 33.6. They're not going to hit the ball, and they're going to strike out a ton. So give me Ronel Blanco over 17.5 outs. Best price is over at Caesars at minus 115. All right, 4th inning. Let's keep it on moving now. We call it long shots. Like to give out a couple dogs on every show, and let's do that. I've got 2 earmarked here. My pick, and I actually looked ahead, and this Cal Quantrill play may not happen. It actually looks like it's going to rain tonight in Pittsburgh, and rain a fair number. But you know what? There was a night in Chicago I thought it was going to rain, and the Braves in Chicago ended up playing a game. So I was obviously still going to stick with Quantrill, but that pick may not happen. I like the Rockies as a dog. I think they'll go ahead and knock off the Pittsburgh Pirates today. Kind of mentioned... obviously, we're getting offensive advantages in spades, right? It's league worst offense versus right-handers. Colorado is actually in the top 10 hitting left-handers, and they're going to go ahead and see Martin Perez. You don't get any bullpen advantage. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it at all. Your bullpen advantages are pretty goddamn slim in this game, and almost damn near non-existent. I mean, the Pirates do most of it better coming up out of the bullpen. So, but just going to rely on the hitting, and obviously going to rely on the pitching there with Quantrill, and obviously the lack of the hitting there of the Pittsburgh Pirates. If you want another dog, maybe a game that doesn't get rained out, let me go ahead and give you another one, and this one will scare the shit out of you with Patrick Corbin on the mound. But the Nationals, I'm not scared. We took the Nationals against the Rangers, right? Team coming off, just won the World Series. I took the Nationals earlier this week and got a great cash. I'm not scared. I do think they'll go ahead and knock off the Blue Jays today. It's Patrick Corbin against Yusei Kikuchi. The Nationals just do it all better versus left-handers, and it's not substantially better, but across the board, they do it better. They slug more. Actually, they slug a fair amount more than the Blue Jays. Their average is just a tick better. Weighted runs created is going to be better because the slugging is better. They don't strike out as much as what the Blue Jays do. From a bullpen perspective, it's actually not that bad, right? It's actually really not. I mean, one team's whip is 1.3, the other one's 1.35. Both of them have a 255 opponent's batting average. The Nationals are actually going to allow less home runs coming out of the bullpen at 1.1 versus 1.3 over the course of 9 innings. So, you get a better ERA for the Blue Jays, and that's about it. I mean, their ERA is 4, mine's 5.5. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I get the better bullpen because the majority of the stats are in my favor. I'm going to go ahead and get the hitting. If you can get over Patrick Corbin, I know that's sometimes of a mental hurdle that some people have to get up over, but you're getting the hitting advantages, you're getting the bullpen advantages, and Corbin, remember, he spun a good outing not too long up against those Dodgers, so he's obviously got it in him. So I'll take the Nationals if the game gets rained out, but if we're sitting here and if it's like, what's your dog of the day, it is going to go ahead and be the Rockies at plus 154 to go ahead and knock off the Pirates. Fifth inning, call it keep swinging. Like try and give out some hitting props on the show every single day, and let's just do that. Got some big names you'll actually have heard of. I know sometimes I throw out some names and it's like, who the hell is what's the major league line? Like, who the hell is this guy? I think you've heard of Freddie Freeman, right? Yeah, he destroys Charlie Morton. He's 10 for 20, 3 doubles and 3 home runs. So he's a great over 1.5 total base candidate with all the power and extra base hits that he's obviously had up against Charlie Morton, and kind of touched on the Braves numbers, right? The bullpen's not even all that great, so chance to obviously get some hits late in that game as well. Justin Turner, they're the Toronto Blue Jays up against Patrick Corbin, 16 for 42, 4 doubles and 2 home runs as well. And Andrew Benintendi, they're of the hometown Chicago White Sox. He's 11 for 26 up against Sonny Gray with 1 home run and only 3 Ks in those 26 at bats. So I really like that as well. So Andrew Benintendi, I believe, will be a good candidate as well. 6th inning, it's the steal. I like to go ahead and give you my Nerfy of the day. Nerfy of the day is going to come in that same game with Andrew Benintendi because we're going to go to St. Louis where the White Sox are in town to take on the Cardinals. That's the Nerfy of the day. It's minus 120 over on DraftKings. The Cardinals Nerfy, the 6th best at 81%. The White Sox are better. They Nerfy 3rd best in Major League, also at 81%, just a higher decimal points a little bit above the Cardinals. So they're both at about 81%. We know from a hitting standpoint what the right-handed numbers of the pulling it up right here. Cardinals are hitting 236. Really not a lot of power at 350. Their weighted runs created is below league average at 92. White Sox are better. They do hit the ball 273. The White Sox are bringing a lot of power to the plate right now at 433 slugging and a weighted runs created at 111. But Sonny Gray's on the mound. And Sonny Gray, look at the back of that baseball card. Holy hell. This guy is off to one hell of a start. For the White Sox, we have I don't remember who the hell was going now. I erased my brain. Oh, yeah, Brad Keller. Brad Keller. He's had 1 appearance this season. It was in a relief role coming in from a game in which Garrett Crotchet started. He came in behind him. We know Brad Keller from his Royals days. He's generally a starter. We don't know how long he's going to go, but obviously he'll be in there for the first inning and like it against bats against the Cardinals that are cold, and also overall a team, again, Nerfing at 81%. So that'll go ahead and be the Nerfy of the day. It's the Cardinals, it's the White Sox, and it's minus 115. Let's stay here for half a second before we move on to what the best bet is, because I've actually got a real bet in this game where I've put half a unit on. We talked about these White Sox, and we were sitting here and we watched the numbers every 10 days. And what was it, like Tuesday? I think I said, like, these numbers are coming up. They're damn near almost the point where you can go ahead and put your money behind these White Sox. We weren't going to do it against the Twins, though, because they were just hitting the goddamn baseball really well. So that wasn't a good matchup for them. And did they end up getting swept? I don't know if they got swept or not. I think they may have gotten swept. But, yeah, I mean, that wasn't a good matchup, even though they were getting better. This is a really good matchup here for the White Sox. I'm going to take them through the F5 money line. I'll get you the real price because I'm sure everybody is hobnobbing on the Cardinals and the price has gotten better. So if you want to tail, White Sox F5 money line, let me get you the best price. I gave it out at plus 215 earlier on Twitter. That was on Bet Rivers. I'll get you the live best line. Of course, use Odds Trader. Still plus 215 over on Bet Rivers. Hasn't moved at all. Some of the more popular books, DraftKings. All right, so in DraftKings, when I made this bet was at plus 185. DraftKings is now at plus 200. So no surprise, people are jumping on the White Sox or jumping on the Cardinals. Just classic fade the White Sox. But why would you fade a team that's hitting 273? Why would you fade a team that's bringing a whole hell of a lot of power, 433 to the plate? And their weighted runs created is 111. We talked about the Cardinals numbers. We talked about the Nerfy. They even strike out a ton at 30.3% through the Cardinals. 30.3. White Sox are all the way down to 22%. Now, why are we obviously doing the F5 money line? What happened yesterday in that ball game? They were in a tight game with the Twins. They were actually leading through after 5 innings, 3-2 ball game. or was that 2 nights ago? Maybe I'm getting the nights mixed up. Maybe it was 2 nights ago. It was 3-2. Either way, then they went off and won the game 10-5. That bullpen's a piece of shit. You don't want any piece of that bullpen. If the White Sox can't win the game through the first 5 with their hitting advantages, when we know who the starters are going to be, and I know Sonny Gray's on the mound and he's having a good start, they're not going to win this game. So you're just putting your money where your advantages really lie in the predictable hitting. And Brad Keller, they don't even, who knows if he's built up. If, let's say, he only goes 3 innings, I know the bullpen numbers suck, but I like bringing in a different pitcher and that throwing the batters off for an inning or 2. So I really like this. Go ahead and give me the White Sox plus 215 for a half a unit F5 money line. And obviously there is the option there to go ahead and get a push and get your wager back. All right, 7th inning, best bet. What's the best bet? It's Friday night, boys. Friday night. I need to know what your best bet is Friday night. You already know what my best bet is. Red Sox F5 team total over 1.5 minus 160. I don't think I've had a play like over minus 125 in a good couple weeks. Since minus 160 is extremely rare, you can't get this bet anymore. Of course, it's gone to 2.5. DraftKings was asleep in at the wheel. They should have never given it to us at 1.5. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking, to be quite honest. As soon as I saw 1.5, you saw when I did the tweets this morning. I was sitting here. I was actually up at 3 a.m. just for whatever reason, didn't sleep well. Came in here, did all the handicapping. I sent that tweet out alone because I knew that 1.5 was not going to stick. Of course, it's at 2.5. Of course, it's at good plus money. You can always take a stab at it. Chris Paddock is on the mound here for the Twins. He's allowed every opponent except for one to cash this bet of over 1.5. The one he didn't was the White Sox. It's okay, though. When he faced the White Sox, that was a couple of weeks ago when they weren't playing all that well. Again, they're playing a lot better now. But, of course, he let the White Sox stay under a couple of weeks ago. They were dog shit up until very recently. But every other opponent has gone well over 1.5. Absolutely crushed this number. And, oh, by the way, who's the number 1 team? Yeah, that's right. I said who's the number 1 team right now versus right-handed pitching. That's your Boston Red Sox. Go ahead and stand up with the best average at 324, the third best slugging at 498. How about the 4th best OPS at 871 and the 2nd best weighted runs created at 142? Doing a good job at avoiding the strikeout at 23.8%. Chris Paddock has allowed all but one opponent to do it. Red-hot Red Sox offense, that's your best bet of the day. Red Sox F5 team total over 1.5 minus 160. Double play, 8th inning. Got to give you a parlay. Parlay me on a great Friday. I didn't actually make this parlay, to be fair. I got to this part of the show and realized, damn, I ain't giving out an over and under yet. So let me do that. That's what I did. I just got a cheap way to kind of let you know what my favorite over-unders were on the slate. Angels, Guardians over 7.5. Bullpens, both of them are coming to this game below league average. Both of their hittings come in above league average. So Guardians, Angels over 7.5 for me. Rangers, Royals under 9 is what I'm going to go ahead and parlay that. I don't even know what that price is, but I'm sure both of them are relatively minus 110. So certainly good odds. But the what did I say? Rangers and Rangers and Royals. Well, we know the Rangers can't hit right-handers, right? That was when we took a stab on the Nationals on the F5 money line, and it came through. They didn't score any runs off Trevor Dog Williams, my man Trevor Williams. That's gonna get me excited for the next couple of weeks, what he was able to do. And then both of these bullpens are top 10, and actually the Rangers are top 5. I kind of like the Royals on the money line. If they can get out to a win or get out to a lead and take advantage of their right-handed hitting advantages, and then obviously get into their good bullpen arms, I'm not too surprised with the Royals and go ahead and knock off the Rangers today. But if it becomes a bullpen game, you want to be with the Rangers for sure, but you also want to be on the under because the Royals, again, their bullpen's sitting about top 10. So I like the under 9 in that game. Under 9 between Rangers, Royals. What the hell? I'll just build this parlay right now. It comes into plus 278. Plus 278 for the over 7.5 and Angels, Guardians, and under 9 between the Rangers and the Royals. All right, 9th inning. Let's go ahead and close this show up. Let's end it with a little rapid fire. Let's talk every single game from a money run line and over-under perspective. Let's get in a look here and see if Matt's not messaging me back. So he's got about 10 minutes. He's got till the end of rapid fire, or we'll just skip the Premier League show. These are my bets, though, boys. I'm going to go ahead and rifle them off. Reds on the F5 money line. Actually, I didn't Oh, man, the Reds made the card but didn't make the show. Well, that's all right. We're going to do a rapid fire, so I'll justify that pick here in a second. Reds F5 money line, minus 112. White Sox F5 money line, plus 215 for a half a unit. Best bet of the day, Red Sox F5 team total over 1.5. Dodgers on the money line, minus 110. Padres on the money line, minus 102. Athletics money line, minus 130. We'll justify that on rapid fire. Yankees on the run line, plus 133. We'll get to that as well in rapid fire. And then Charlie Morton under 5.5 Ks, plus 115. Cal Corntrill over 15.5 outs, minus 115. All right, I got to write these down. I got Reds, A's, and Yankees. I need to make sure I expand on during rapid fire. All right, well, let's do that. Let's pull up the old rapid fire then. Let's get on into it. Brewers and Cubs, the only day game today, right out that door. The rain, all right, the rain's finally let up. I think this game is definitely going to be get in because I didn't even know it was going to rain today. And so this is like a little, just a random shower we got here. What do we got? We got the over-under of 7.5. We got Brewers coming to this game plus 105. Cubs come in here at minus 125. In this matchup, I do like the Brewers. You're getting your hitting advantages that, of course, you always like, right? You got a Cubs offense that comes in right now, barely hitting a blow or barely hitting above the Mendoza line at 208, where the Milwaukee Brewers coming to this one at 251. I get the slugging advantage at 417 up against 336, and I get a good weighted runs created advantage at 119 up against 80 as well there for that. Looking at the bullpen stats. Yeah, that's why I didn't end up betting it, because the Milwaukee bullpen right now is really struggling, about bottom 5. Cubs are about league average, but it's they've also got they've got some stats where they fall up into the bottom 10, like they're 26th worst in ERA. So I like the over 7.5 with both of these bullpens struggling. Hopefully the Brewers can have a lead, and if so, I believe they will cash to plus 105. So give me the over in the Brewers at plus 105. Orioles and Reds with an over-under of 9. Orioles minus 102. Reds here at minus 118. I like the Reds. Of course, you can see I've got an official bet for them to winning the game through the 5 innings, so I'll take them on the full game money line. Baltimore Orioles. I mentioned the Pirates having the worst batting average. I guess I could have said tied for worst, because the Orioles also have a 164 batting average, which is just really gross. A 266 slugging, which is really gross. And their weighted runs created. I said the Pirates were second worst. That's because the Orioles are dead last in weighted runs created at 45. They do not hit right-handers. Just look at that Yankee series, right? Just look at the Yankee series. Did great yesterday against Carlos Rodon. They weren't hitting the right-handers in Hill, And what the other 2 games, it was like 2-0, and I think it was 4-2. Because they can't hit the right-handers. Reds aren't killing left-handers, but they're obviously a lot better than that. Hitting 250, 657 OPS, weighted runs created of 91. They don't really strike out at 20.6%. You don't get any bullpen advantages. The Orioles get all the bullpen advantages, and they get the bullpen advantages in spades. So kind of like the White Sox, right? If they're not winning the game through the 5 innings, just the opponent's bullpen is going to be too good, and they probably won't be able to overcome it. So there's no point in taking a full game money line. Just take where your advantages lie in the predictable hitting, where Hunter Green should really get after this Orioles team that can't hit right-handers, and Cole Irvin, below average pitcher, should certainly give up a couple of runs. So I like the Reds. On the full game money line at minus 118, I will take the under 9 as well with that Orioles bullpen. Just be really, really dominant. So give me the under 9 and minus 118. Giants and Phillies with an over-under of 7.5, plus 142 for the Giants. Phillies minus 170. I mean, tough one. We know this Phillies one. We've been backing these Phillies. We know their numbers look great. I mean, strikeout percentage is 18. Jordan Hicks' strikeout numbers at 4.5, but all he wants to do is go over that number, it seems, every start. So not a spot in which you want to fade him, even though the Phillies are, got all the numbers we've kind of talked about on this 6-0 run that we've been riding. You just, not a spot that I want to just put that to the test, because Jordan Hicks has got some wipeout shit. Fastball damn near touches 100 miles an hour. So, yeah, he's just really stinking good. But I'll go ahead and take the Phillies, though, to go ahead and win the game. And it's going to be this classic, just hold your nose when it comes in with the bullpen. They shouldn't be minus 170, I'll tell you that. And that bullpen doesn't justify anything around minus 170. The only thing that gives you a little bit of comfort, and then that's minus 170, is that the Giants bullpen is also struggling as well. Like, other than that, I really don't want the Phillies, though, in any full game capacity. I do like the over 7.5 with both of these bullpens struggling. You could see this is the classic. You could see where the F5 goes under, but then the full game goes under with both of these bullpens struggling. So I'll take the over 7.5. I'll take Phillies at -170, but yeah. It's a good thing they've got Aaron Nola going. Otherwise, yeah, we wouldn't touch -170 with the poll. Rockies, Pirates, we already did that game. I, of course, like the Rockies. It's down to +145. It was +154. Now it's 145. So, yeah, people are seeing the Pirates can't do shit. So I like that. Blue Jays, Nationals, we already did that game. Over-under of 8.5. +160 for the Nationals. -192 for the Blue Jays. Again, I like the Nationals in this spot. I think that's a good one there. Hopefully Corbin can hold it together. Mets and Rays with an over-under of 8. Mets +120. Rays coming to this one -142. The Rays, and this was actually for the first time this season, and you guys remember this from the payoff pitch, because you guys know I'm just betting the numbers. Like that's all I'm doing. But today I've been up since 3 a.m. I said, you know what do the standings look like? I was just kind of curious. I don't know I don't really know who wins. I really know. The Rays are in dead last in the American League East. I wouldn't have, that's not something I would have predicted, but it's because of that bullpen. We've talked about this bullpen and, kind of how this bullpen is struggling. They've also kind of, been struggling kind of overall from a hitting perspective. They're not really hitting left-handers right now. Their batting average is, only .211, but here the Mets are basically also struggling with a .228 batting average. This one's a really tough one. We know the Mets have the bullpen advantages in spades in this matchup. They did play that extra inning game, did chew up some of their arms yesterday. I'll take the Mets at +120, and I'll ride with the under 8. I like the under more. But I'll take the Mets at +120. Tigers and Yankees with an over-under of 7.5, +136 for the Tigers. Yankees come in at -162. I'm, of course, on that run line at +133. Let's go ahead and justify this sucker right here, because we haven't had a chance to do that yet. Let me find the numbers. Here they are. Just getting the better offense here versus right-handers with Stroman and Reese Olson on the mound. I hit 265, you hit 227. I slug 500, you slug 404. OPS of 841 versus 700. Weighted runs created of 142 versus 101. The Yankees surprisingly aren't striking out right now at 19.7%, which is better than the Tigers at 23.5. Where I'm also going to get some advantages is in this bullpen, and I mean massive bullpens. You've got the number 1 bullpen right now for the New York Yankees. Used 2 bullpen arms last night, but didn't use any of their high leverage guys. Didn't use Santana. Didn't use Clay Holmes. So all their high leverage guys are ready to roll. Their ERA is below 1 at 0.8. Tigers is 6.57. We like this Tigers bullpen, but in a season in which you ebb and flow, they're getting a lot of ebb right now. FIP is 2.3 versus 4.2. WHIP is 0.71 versus 1.4. And the opponent's batting average is 130 versus 277. I mean, the Yankees should just have the advantages throughout this entire game, and they should win this game by multiple runs with the hitting, pitching advantages that they have. So I'll take the Yankees on the run line at +133. I would do, that over-under is tough. Yeah, Yankees on the run line. What do we got? Angels and Guardians. I, of course, like the over 7.5, which is, now +105? Hold up. How is this becoming plus money? I mean, this Angels bullpen is ERA at 7.2, FIP of 5.4, opponent's batting average second worst at 317. Guardians ain't a lot better. They're bottom 10 across the board. Why the hell is this up? Plus money. I mean, Angels are in the top 10 in hitting right-handers. Their weighted runs created is 121. That's 778 OPS. Plus money. What does Odds Trader have predicted for this game, out of curiosity? Plus money. Obviously, I'm considering adding it to the card. I'm getting quite interested. What do they have as a game? Our game predictor's down. I like the Angels at Man, nice bullpen. I can't I can't put my money behind either of these teams trying to predict the win the way these bullpens are. Not the Angels, even though they've got the hitting advantages. It's Soriano up against Bibby. I'm taking the over 7.5. I'm taking the over 7.5. Yeah, I'm taking the over 7.5, and I'm not worried about a money line in that game. That one's tough, but the over 7.5 looks great with the Angels' offense being good. Like the Guardians' bats, both bullpens struggling. The Angels really struggling. Yeah, over 7.5 for me. Rangers and Royals, we did that one. I like the under 9. I also kind of like the Royals. I hope it's not a bullpen game. Maybe this is like a good live betting spot. Which I don't know if you guys do that. Somebody hit me up weeks ago saying that they take this rapid fire information and like as they're watching box scores, like if I say like an over under or a late game, like this bullpen's shit. This guy's been taking this rapid fire stuff and live betting it. It was pretty cool to hear from him saying that. So yeah, give me the under 9 and give me Royals on the money line. Mariners and Astros with what do you got? Over under of 8.5 here, minus 108 for the Mariners. Astros minus 112. I like the under 8.5 in this matchup, and I also like the Astros at minus 112. Minus 112. Even though they the bullpen is struggling, it's kind of tight though with the Mariners, even though it is kind of struggling. I like the Astros at minus 112. Red Sox and Twins with an over under of 8. Red Sox plus 105. Twins minus 125. I like the Red Sox at this one at plus 105. And I like the over 8 and plus 105 for the Red Sox. White Sox Cardinals over under of 7.5. White Sox plus 225. Cardinals minus 278. Can't be that big of a favorite. I mean, Cardinals bullpen 23rd in ERA, 25th in FIP. The hell, 17th in WHIP, and the opponent's batting average is also 17th. Home runs per 9, they're 28th. Like you can't be minus 278 because you don't have any hitting advantages. I hear you, Sonny Gray's on the mound, and while the White Sox bullpen, I mentioned there was a lot of 20s in there when we just went through their Cardinals stats. Yeah, unfortunately, the White Sox sit like 30th in every category basically. I'm going to take the White Sox plus 225. I mean, shit, I think they can be winning the game through the first 5. So, let's just hold your nose and see if they can't deliver on a good plus 225. So, Marlins and Athletics need to, this is one of the games I needed to break down. Marlins and Athletics over under of 7.5. Marlins plus 120. Athletics minus 142. We've got Weathers on the mound versus J.P. Sears. Let's run through these stats real quick. This is going to take 2 tabs. So we got 220, 414, and 733. That's going to be your average slugging and OPS. So where's Miami? 264, 374, 690, 98 for weighted runs created. What was Oakland? Oakland was 117. But it really just comes down to the bullpen. I mean, elite numbers coming up out of this bullpen. Not quite New York Yankees elite, but really stinking good. I mean, ERA just over 1 at 1.3. WHIP well below 1 at 0.78. Opponent's batting average 150. We've just talked about it. I mean, it's just a bullpen that we absolutely love. So Athletics on the money line may not quite have, maybe a little bit behind in hitting, to be fair, but making up for it in spades in both starting, pitching, and bullpen. So I'll take the Athletics at minus 130. And then a couple more games. Well, Padres, Diamondbacks, you already know I like the Padres. And Braves, Dodgers, you already know I like the Dodgers. Those are official bets. Looks like we're on the right side of both of those. We got Dodgers at minus 125 and Padres at minus 112. So we're locked in at minus 110 and minus 102. So sweet. Cool. Let's see if Matt hit us up. Yeah, cool. Matt did hit us up. We are doing the Premier League. Let me send him the link, and let's break down these 10 games in the Premier League. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on Twitter. If you want the Premier League, you need to jump on YouTube because obviously Matt won't be able to talk on Twitter, so no point in hanging on Twitter. So if you want the 10 games of the Premier League breaking down with Matt and myself and some bets along the way, hop on over to YouTube. All right. Questions. Nice. I like it. I like it. Oh, this is Matt. Oh, I didn't even read the name. I just read the comment. Oh, Matt, I'm ready. Come on in, Matt. Did you go with the Mexican? Oh, yeah, Adrian. Yes, I meant to say thank you. Nice. Yeah, I did. And then I checked this morning. One game went into extra time or maybe penalties, and the other game was whatever it was. Yeah, I get. You said plus 105. By the time I locked it in, it was minus 112, and it was about 10 minutes before one of those first two games started at like 8 p.m. my time. So thanks, Adrian. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I loved waking up the money in my account and make up for that bullshit nerfy that happened yesterday. So appreciate that, Adrian. Up early to bet. I tried to use it on Padres, but DraftKings said that was a duplicate bet and wouldn't let me do it. So then I switched it to Rockies. But Padres was what I tried to use it on. But officially, if you want to do the same as me, I'm on Rockies. But that was just because DraftKings wouldn't let me do it. All right, let's get Matt in here. Let's talk this Premier League here. Where's old Matt? How long ago? All right, here he comes. All right, hold on. Let's get Matt up in here. There he is. Matt.
What is up?
What's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm feeling on top of the world right now.
Why, because of the Pacers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
I
think
cashed
they,
a
you think they
huge
win it?
series ticket.
Oh, you did. You got that at plus money, I bet, right?
I do. I got it right at open. I got plus 265 on the Pacers to win the series.
Damn.
And
Was that before
I
Giannis was
hammered.
rolled out or something? Damn. Plus 265.
Yeah, it was like with the uncertainty of that. I liked the price regardless if Giannis was going to play, but I knew that there was uncertainty with his injury, and you know, one day later, I took I like basically laddered it to plus 1.5 games on the spread or on the series spread, plus
Nice.
2.5 games at like minus 230. It all ended up coming together.
Okay. Love to hear that. Nice. Bringing good vibes on up into the show. And you actually like this Premier League card. I chatted with you yesterday. You said you've got bets for the people. You liking this Premier League card with only 3 games to go in the season. I'm treading a little lightly. It sounds like you're on the opposite. So I'm excited to talk these games with you.
Yeah, I mean we've always got a couple bets for the people. I mean we've been kind of on a roll. I
Yeah.
mean
I went 2-0 this week in
you've
Champions League,
been.
baby. We both smacked that
I
under.
know.
Easy as shit. I mean, it was a little sweaty if you were watching, but that's always kind of the way soccer's and unders go. But it was easy,
Yep.
relatively.
Smacked the under. I did get caught slipping yesterday though, live betting on Aston Villa.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
I live bet them when they went down 1-0, and whatever. Yeah.
didn't happen. It'd be like that sometimes. All right, well,
Yep.
let's jump on into it because we've got a footy game here in a couple hours between a relegation now safe team in Everton, who's no longer got to be worried about the drop anymore, taking on Luton, who very much has to be worried about going down in the championship next year. What are we saying here? This one, Matt, with these two teams respectively in the last 6 games. We talked about Everton winning their last 3. In the last 6 games, this is your 4th best team in the Premier League. They are catching fire at the right time. I worry about a little bit of a cool off though. That now that they're safe, like is it like a little bit of relief going to settle through Goodison Park, and it's like job done, boys. That's the big concern for me in this matchup. We know what we're going to get with Luton. You've turned everybody here on the program on a fantastic Luton play. I don't know. What are you feeling here, Matt?
I think I'm just gonna go back to what works. I'm gonna just like there's no real point in like trying to do anything else. I feel like I'm getting Luton at home. I am getting Luton that have won the head-to-head twice this season in the FA Cup and in the reverse fixture at Goodison. This one here is at home. So is the price great? No, not amazing, but it's still bettable. So, yeah, I mean, I don't need to dive in too much on it. I really just kind of hope it's a fun Friday match. Everton have been scoring; they've scored in 3 straight, 4 of their last 5, 5 of their last 6, 6 of their last 7. 6 of their last 7, Everton have scored and found the back of the net. So that gives me confidence that they can find the back of the net. Luton at home. It won't be easy for Luton. We know that Everton's defense is pretty solid. I mean, keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool is no easy task. But I just trust in Luton to just kind of go for it here at home with a Friday night under the lights. So, yeah, this is a both teams to score in Luton plus 1.5 for me. Price shop it a little bit. I'm seeing 143 at draft or at FanDuel.
Yeah, I just built that parlay. I was about to say 143. I just built it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, maybe there's a little bit better, but yeah, that's probably what it's going to be, minus 143.
I mean, they're keeping clean sheets to your point, right? Brentford not being able to score them four. I missed 3 straight clean sheets up against them. And 4 of the last 5, they've been able to keep clean sheets. It's going to be a little nervous, but I do think with kind of the comfort of them no longer being dropped down in the championship, I think it very much puts your play right back in there. So it makes sense that you'd be right back on it. I like it. Before we leave, we threaded that needle to a T last week. I think you ended the show with saying Wolves 2-1 on the money line, and we got there.
I know. That was great. That was great. So, yeah, I wouldn't say this is like a hammer play or anything, but I think it's just kind of, if you've been back in this play, there's really no reason to kind of, get off the train here.
Okay. All right. We got the early kickoff here Saturday morning. Arsenal at home against Bournemouth. I like Arsenal. It's where can you extract some value, and I think the real value is going to come of this is if you think Bournemouth is going to go ahead and get a goal. Because if you think Bournemouth can get a goal, then you do Arsenal money line and both teams to score, and that'll help you out. I'm just not confident that they're going to go ahead and get a goal. I mean, this is an Arsenal team that has 3 clean sheets in their last 3 clean sheets in their last 4 wins. So I'm not confident that Bournemouth is going to come in here and be able to get a goal. So it's obviously priced at like minus 500 on the money line, makes it awfully tough. They shut them out, obviously in the reverse fixture 4-0. Tough one for me, Matt, with it being priced the way it is. Do you think Bournemouth gets a goal, or how are you playing this one?
I mean, I think that Bournemouth can make this pretty competitive. The line has definitely come down a little bit. If you've been looking, money has come in on Bournemouth, and it's smart money. They believe, in a sense, that Bournemouth have been better over so like here's the thing: is Bournemouth have kind of sucked against like the elite teams this season, but the last time they played Man City, they lost 1-0. They were able to keep that very competitive. We know that Arsenal. This is a team under pressure versus a team in Bournemouth that have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. And I'm a little bit concerned here for Arsenal. I think that the Asian handicap line of +2, I know that that's gotten beaten down a little bit. Because I know that just a day or so ago, you could have found Bournemouth +2.25 line at where the +2 is now. Yeah, that's gotten hit a little bit. So that was minus 120. Just trying to give like a good market update here. So this is now it's minus 155 on +2.25. I don't know, man. I think that Bournemouth. I mean, I wouldn't talk anyone off of like hitting a little Bournemouth money line at 13-1 either. I'm on the Bournemouth train a little bit here. So I think right now where the prices are, it's probably a no bet. I think that the market's moved. I think it's corrected. I think that this line is correct. So probably a pass right now. If you got in early, maybe, I think that you'd be feeling pretty good with the Bournemouth ticket. I could see, if you want to get a little like a Bournemouth +2.5, in a parlay, I think that makes a lot of sense. So that's kind of where I'll leave this one. It's a tough game. I think the market's pretty efficient, and I think the Bournemouth can score though.
This is an Arsenal team that for the first time all season has no injury concerns. Listening to Arteta this morning, competition places are running high. Obviously here on the title run-in. I don't think he's going to mix it up. He's certainly going to be playing his guys. But, there's no concern. So Yeah, I just think Arsenal's just gonna keep it going. But yeah, I could see Bournemouth keeping it going. Them over the last 6, they've been about league average. They were about 8th, so not bad. All right, what about Brentford taking on Fulham here? Where Fulham obviously is going to be away from Craven Cottage, where they're 17th place on the table, away from Craven Cottage, 9th at the home table. One of these teams that we've talked about, dramatic home and away splits. Burnley obviously needed some points here if they're going to catch Forest, which is they're right there. And this is one here where they're going to catch Fulham in their worst conditions on the road, away from the cottage. I mean, Burnley's going to see where they just need to get a goddamn result here, and they can catch Forest if they can do it. I think they're going to give it a real go here. I'm liking a both teams to score. I think Burnley can go ahead and pull this off somehow. It's really just leaning on the home and away splits, in this matchup. Actually, I mean, man, I just flipped 2 games around. Brentford's taking on Fulham. Sorry, Matt.
No, you're good. You're good. Which one do you want to talk about?
It's much of the same, but yeah, Fulham's not taking on Burnley. They're taking on Brentford. I don't know, man. I'm not betting this
Let's
game.
let's do Burnley Newcastle. I could see exactly what you were talking about, though. I know you were talking a little bit more about Burnley there, and I could see this one having goals.
Yeah, this one's got goals with Burnley.
I could see this one. Just how do you extract the value? I guess it would be both teams scoring over 2.5.
Yeah, that's it. I've been looking up what that play is right now. I mean, Newcastle's conceded 34 goals in 16 away games. Obviously, the Burnley stats don't look good, but there's going to be some fight. Let me pull that up. I'm trying to see what that price is.
Yeah. No, I like that. For example, I like that more than the over 3. They're basically the same price. The over 3 is minus 145. The both teams scoring over 2.5 is minus 150. I like the both teams to score over 2.5 more.
They're not getting my money at minus 155. There's no way I'm backing, even though Burnley is at home. I still respect Newcastle. I'm not getting there.
Yeah.
I'm not getting there.
Yeah, I know. I do think that it's probably a good match just to leave alone. But if you did bet this one, I would bet this one with goals.
Yeah, that's probably how I would bet it. Brentford Fulham, I'm also probably not going to be betting this one. You're going to probably see me lay off here. I mean, 3 games to go. When you start talking Fulham, Brentford, just nothing to play for. And guys are on holiday here in about 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks, guys are on holiday. So, are you betting Brentford taking on Fulham? There's no way I am.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I kind of said, over a month ago that I really want to be back in Brentford. I would back Brentford here at home. I would. If I haven't gotten there yet, I would probably like to see some lineups just in terms of like Tony, like what do they go with on the front line? Brentford won the reverse fixture. They've won the last 2 head-to-heads. We know that Fulham just don't really travel that well. I would back Brentford here, but it hasn't been bet yet.
Yeah, if I'm picking a side, I'm definitely taking Brentford. I would probably also take goals in that matchup as well.
I mean, you look at it here, Fulham, they've only won 2 matches of their last 16 on the road. And then in terms of just like a head-to-head type of thing, is Brentford haven't been defeated by Fulham in 9 of 10 head-to-heads. So, and I also think that Brentford is slightly better than Fulham. I know that the table won't say that, the table won't suggest that, but I do still think that Brentford's roster and 2 good managers, though. It's a very even managerial matchup. It's a tough game to call. Could see this one ending in a draw for sure. So it's a pass.
Yep, pass for me as well. You mentioned the Fulham wins on the road. Yeah, they had to pick up that win in Old Trafford. Man, that was brutal. All right, here's not really a relegation fight, obviously, for Sheffield. They've obviously are officially going down, but they're taking on Forest here at the city as soon as at Sheffield. So Forest traveling to Sheffield. Just gotta have it here for Forest. Just absolutely gotta have it here for Forest, and their makeup. Coming down the stretch, obviously losing last 2 games, You could obviously stack anything up to Sheffield. Your numbers are going to look better. They just don't look all that better up against a Sheffield team. I remember in this reverse fixture talking about how positive Sheffield was going to be. They obviously lost that reverse fixture 2-1, but from a stats perspective, yeah, they do it better, but it's not a lot better. I mean, I don't know, another game where it's just not betting, but
I think that this one is bettable because I kind of trust Sheffield right now a little bit to score. You know what I mean? Like Sheffield have been doing pretty decent. I mean, we talked about them and the both teams score over 2.5 against United last three head to heads. Really, I mean, last five head to heads have seen both teams to score in this one. Last three have seen both teams score in over 2.5. Sheffield have scored a goal in three straight games. Sheffield have scored a goal in. Wow, we're on a nice little streak. 1, 2, 3.
7 of 8. 7 of 8 have
Yeah,
gone over 2.5 and both
yeah,
teams to score.
yeah. That's where we're going here. We're going both teams to score and over 2.5. This one is a bet. This one is going to make my card. Both teams score over 2.5 minus 120.
I was going to say, it depends on the price. I'm going to go look up at ESPN bet. They're always better. You said it's minus
Oh,
120?
yeah. Good call. Good call.
Let me go look that up. I may actually throw some money on this game. Let me see.
I just weirdly trust in Sheffield right now, and we've talked about this before, Jason. Like, I mean, Sheffield don't have anything to play for. They know that they're relegated.
Oh, yeah, I'm betting this.
Have a go. They're gonna have a go. And so, like, I would say this. I would say a very trappy bet this weekend is people gravitating towards Nottingham Forest to win this game. I think that is I would be on Sheffield here if you made me. I think that is trap city. People thinking, oh, they need to win, so they're going to win type of thing. And I am not so sure about that.
It's minus 105 on ESPN bet.
Okay. I'm on it right now.
Yeah, man, it's not like Forest has been that much better. They're only averaging .83.
Where do you go again? Is there like the tab? They have the tab, and the tab is like better than the price that they. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand that. So yeah, when you do the, I texted you the other night on that Monterey game,
Mm-hmm.
and I built it. I built it on ESPN Bet because ESPN Bet was the only outlet that had the Monterey Columbus Crew game. And I put it together. I get minus 113 on both teams scoring over 2.5. And then I start looking. I'm like, fuck, man. It's even odds on this other like tab. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, game props is where you can get it.
Yeah, game props. Minus 105. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too. I'm in. I'm coming along. I'm in. I just want to. Sheffield is. Neither team. Here you go. Neither team in their last 6 has been able to keep a clean sheet, so they're all getting fucking scored on.
Uh-huh.
And they've actually the failure to score percentages are low too at 17% and 33%. So they're both lighting it up. Both teams to score 67. Yeah, I'm along with you on that ride. I'll come along with you at minus 105 for that one. All right. I think there's one more on Saturday. You want to make a case for Wolves at the Etihad?
I think that Wolves can pose a couple problems for Man City. I like this is one that I already bet. I bet both teams to score at like plus 130.
Oh wow.
I think that Wolves, they beat him on the reverse fixture.
Yep.
Ooh, hold on, I gotta
It's
sneeze.
the business season though. Have you seen all the clean sheets all of a sudden City's doing now? And I've talked about it, how they've always had the XG numbers. They've always looked great. Matt, they're just picking up clean sheets, 3 straight, over Chelsea, over Brighton, over Forest. Business into the season. I'm not trying to mess with Guardiola.
I know.
But I hear you.
But
Plus
Diaz
130, that's
is
a
out.
great hit.
Diaz is out at the
Diaz
back
is
line.
back. I listened to him this morning. Guardiola said he's back.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Holland,
That means he probably didn't start though.
I don't know, center back that doesn't run much in his system.
Their center backs are still great, but here's the thing: is the one way to get at Man City is you have to have an elite counter-attacking team.
Elite.
And I wouldn't say that Wolves have an elite one, but I'd say it's pretty damn good. If you stack it up in the Prem across Europe, like you have Juan and you've got Cunha. Those are 2 upper echelon counter-attacking players. So that's what I'm banking on here. I'm banking on something on the counter-attack from Juan and Cunha, and I've got both teams to score on this one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. And I mean, a good plus money price, I think you take a hit. I mean, I like it
Yeah.
at the good plus money. You said it was around plus 130, so
Yep.
they've only not scored in 2 of their last 6. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been putting together some good games scoring wise.
City with 3 of 6 clean sheets. Okay. All right, well, let's Sunday, Brighton and Villa. Obviously, we all know what Villa was unable to do yesterday, and I don't think they're going to go to Greece and overcome it, but they're going to give it a go. This is feels like a good spot for Brighton, but one in which I don't fully know Aston Villa. I would have to see a lineup, obviously, right? Do we think that we can overcome a 2-goal deficit in Greece, and if so, are we going to hold some players back? But they can't really hold players back because they're also fighting for that 4th place. We know 5th place no longer has Champions League qualification in the Premier League, so Villa is holding on to the last spot. They do have a nice little cushion, so they can kind of maybe lay off this game if they want. This to me is all you got to wait for lineups. You got to see what Villa's trotting out there. I can't
Sure.
bet up free
You know what?
lineups.
And this is what doomed my live bet on Villa yesterday. Is just you can't bet Aston Villa when they don't have Emi Martinez. We don't talk about goalkeepers a lot on this show, but he's about as good as it gets, and their backup sucks. He sucks. He really sucks. There was a couple. There was one that he should have saved. One he was out of position on. I think that if they could have Emi Martinez back, like for the return to Greece, like I'll probably be back in Aston Villa in that game. I really want to back Villa in that return game, but they need to have Emi Martinez. They need to be 100%. I'm looking at the injury table right now on premierinjuries.com. Yeah, they've got to be healthy. You've got Tielemans, he's kind of banged up. Alex Moreno's banged up. So for right now, I don't see how you can bet this one.
Yeah, it's a lineup checker. Lineup checker. All right, let's go over to Stamford Bridge, where this one smells like a both team to score over 2.5. But again, they've got it priced at minus 170. And if the price yesterday scared you off of a both team to score over 2.5, you were rewarded. And I think the high price of this one's certainly going to scare me off. But I like goals. West Ham actually likes playing on the counter. So they'll be comfortable trying to hit them on the counter. I like goals. I'm obviously not getting anywhere minus 170. I like Chelsea to kind of keep what they're kind of like the momentum they're going. I know it's only maybe one win in their last 3, but I like the performances and I think they've been strong even dating back to the FA Cup game. Thought they were able to scare City a little bit. So I like Chelsea on the money line. I like Chelsea or I like goals in this one as well.
Here's the thing. So this is something that we should probably talk about because how many matches are left?
3. Well, some teams have 4. 3 for the majority.
3 or 4. Okay. So generally, and this is something because I bet this league for a long time now. And goals have really been on the menu this year and the lines have moved accordingly. Late in the season has always been a great opportunity to bet on goals.
Yeah.
And so I think what you have to do as a bettor is you have to stop, in a sense, looking so hard at the 2.5, and you've got to look at the 3.5. And I think that this is a perfect example of it. I think that you look towards this game, both of these teams have nothing to play for. Nothing. This is about entertainment, putting on a good performance. These teams are out of Europe. I mean, there's really nothing here.
You say that, and Pochettino was asked this morning at his press conference by a journalist about making Europe, and I was like, man, what is he smoking? And then you go look up. They're actually only 3 points behind United for the Conference League. Like, they actually still have a go. They can still actually make Europe. I mean, it's the Conference League, but they can do it.
That would be such a mistake.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be.
That would be such a mistake. Like, you don't want to be in the Conference League because that's just too many matches for the next season. Like, yeah, I guess it could be a great development for younger players and stuff like that. Like, I hear all of that. And there are some rosters where that is very beneficial. For Chelsea want to be competing for Premier League titles and top 4s. And the Conference League does not help with that. So for me here, I think that I haven't bet this yet, but I think like I would just wait for the lineups. I don't think that this line's going to move. Like it's not. It's going to be stuck here at 3.5. You don't have to bet this one yet. But if you get some good quality attacking lineups, like don't even play around with like the both teams score over 2.5. Like I think I hear it, but you're not going to get a great price on it. I think that you just roll over some over 3.5s here in the next few matches. I think that we're going to see some over 3.5s. So
I definitely remember that in match week 38. Like there's goals galore on the last one. I remember just getting all the overs. We've done
for
that
sure,
the last
we're going to
couple
do
seasons
that
now.
again.
Yes.
I think that we can. I think that we might want to move our timeline up on that a little bit. Like we're kind of here right now. We're at match week 36, whatever. So like, I think that we just move it up a little bit. I think that's if there's anyone watching the show, I think that that's one of the biggest kind of notes to take is that I think we might want to move it up a couple weeks and really look towards goals in some of these matchups that are kind of meaningless.
Let's do it. I'm ready to make some money. All right, Liverpool. Third place, Liverpool. Fifth place, Tottenham. 7 points behind Aston Villa. Liverpool, 5 points behind league leaders Arsenal. I've been talking about goals drying up in Liverpool games. Of course, no Jota in this matchup. I assume Salah's not going to be on the bench. Like, can I get a real lineup from Jurgen Klopp? I actually like Liverpool in this game. Tottenham's obviously in some just terrible slide. Ainge has kind of justified it a little bit. He's justified it pretty well in his press conferences. But I like Liverpool here at Anfield. I think they can get it done in this spot. Obviously, they're still bitter. Even Jurgen this morning in his press conference, remember the Luis Diaz offsides? Like they got screwed in the reverse leg. To say the least, they got screwed. I like Liverpool here. I don't even know what it costs on the money line. What's it cost?
Minus 220. It's hard to find the value.
I don't know if I can really trust Tottenham to get a goal. I mean, they didn't score at Newcastle. They didn't score at Chelsea. I thought they could get at Chelsea and obviously score a goal. Everybody did. The both teams to score was minus 220. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my thing. So I guess I didn't realize. Okay, so I thought it was kind of the perfect bounce back spot for Spurs in terms of scoring goals. Like, because everyone saw probably on Twitter the Ange Postecoglou like absolutely ripping into his players. Like, no, stop passing it backwards, all that stuff. But they did score against Tottenham. Okay, so this is where I'm going. This is the exact. It's a copy and paste of what I just said on the last game. The price sucks though, and so like that's tough. But I think that this game is going over. I will wait for lineups because, again, I don't think that this price is going to move. I want to check all the boxes. I think that that's important too late in season here is I wouldn't be rushing to bet these yet. I think that you need to see some lineups. Make sure you're checking the boxes with the rosters that you want. And I think that this game likely goes up and over the total. Very good head-to-head of goals in this one. You get Postecoglou pissed off from last week. Like, Spurs are going to have a go. Spurs are pretty much out of the top four. Liverpool have nothing to play for. And what has Jurgen Klopp been? Jason, we only have a couple more matches with him. He's been one of the great entertainers of the Premier League. And he will be looking to entertain here at Anfield. I think that this could be one of those classic Klopp games. I heard Van Dijk might also not go.
Mm-hmm.
So
ankle injury.
That's I don't think that he's going to play. So the season's kind of over. I think that this is just going to be all about having fun. I think it's going to be all about having fun. And so how about this? I know a way to get this price down. We're going to do both teams to score and over 3.5. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do both teams scoring over 3.5. Just get that price down. This game, I don't see any team winning this game 4-0. I don't really see that. So why not?
Yeah. I hear you with the no Virgil. The thing that concerns me is no Udogie. And remember, that's when Spurs were flying high. They had Porro and Udogie, obviously, as their wingbacks. And also Timo Werner. Like, when they picked him up, I mean, he was such a crucial loanee. Like, he was really stinking good, Timo Werner. They don't have Udogie. They don't have Timo Werner. they're just not as great. I mean, that lineup against Chelsea, like Kulusevski and Son and Charleston, like it just
Yeah, I get
wasn't all
it.
that good.
I get it. It's not great, but I mean, they still bagged 2 goals against Arsenal, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that
talking
was
about
good.
an elite defense. We're talking about Liverpool's defense that has just not been good over the last ever since that FA Cup match against fucking United. Like they got exposed. They've been exposed ever since there. So
Hmm.
for me, this is a no doubter. I'm seeing minus 122 on both teams are scoring over 3.5 at ESPN bet. Um, I'd love to just get a flat 110 on this. I would love that bet, man. Give me a both teams score over 3.5.
The problem is when
I
you
think
go
we
to over
got it.
3.5, due to the correlation, when you throw in both,
Yeah,
it just doesn't bring it down because it's kind of correlated.
exactly. Yeah, minus 120 on FanDuel. I think that's fair enough. I'm going to be in on that. I think that this game is a game of entertainment.
Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, cool. And let's get Liverpool 3 points. Let's add a little bit of spice to the title race. They're not out of it, Matt. I hear you. They're likely out of it, but get it 3 points and at least keep the pressure on, so to speak. All right, one more match Monday, Selhurst Park. This was one, Matt, when I looked at the odds, or before I looked at the odds, I was like, oh, sweet, maybe I can get a good price on Palace. And it's like, damn, they got Palace prices the favorites. Like, books are on it. You know, no Bruno Fernandes whenever they don't, or likely no Bruno Fernandes. It's a game time decision. Whenever they don't have Bruno Fernandes, they're really stinking awful. They already don't get service into Hoyland, to begin with. I like Palace in this spot. The both teams to score in over 2.5 is minus 145 on DraftKings, so that makes it a little tough. But you can't ignore what Palace is doing, right? 3 wins in their last 4, undefeated in their last 4. With United though, if you're sitting there watching this game, or even if you're not watching this game, just pull your phone up in the 80th minute and live bet the over. Like that's what you need to do. Whether you're watching it or not, United's going to concede late. So I like Palace in this spot. I need to wait and see if Bruno's playing, but this is one in which I like Palace here at home over United.
Yeah, I'm on this Palace train right now. I want to be with Palace. Wow, cannot believe though this price though plus 130. I mean that's crazy. This is one, for example, that this is a perfect example of I would go with Crystal Palace minus a quarter because I still think that United. I mean, they're probably a little bit better than Palace. Um, but it's a tough road game. Give me Palace minus a quarter of a goal. So if the match does end in draw, I'll get half my stake back. And this price is going to be pretty good. It's going to be like probably plus 100 on a minus 105 on DraftKings. I think that this is going to be plus 100 somewhere.
You said it's plus a quarter?
Yep, there we go. Yeah, minus a quarter. So you're going to take them minus a
Minus a
quarter at
quarter.
plus 105. Plus 105. I've got bet. I mean, that's bet 365. Plus 105. Crystal Palace minus a quarter of a goal versus Manchester United.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm only going to have that one official bet. It's the one I made here on the show. The
Mm-hmm.
Forest Sheffield minus 105. Both teams to score over 2.5. I know you've kind of, you're on your Luton today. So you're on the Luton play
Mm-hmm.
today.
That one's pretty small. That one's smaller than a couple of the other ones, but I just kind of like have to bet it thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to have this one bet and I'll, put together what I call a free roll
Yeah, I think that this
of
card
some
is
other stuff.
very interesting. Check lineups. I think that this is a lineup card. It is. You've got to have what lineup you want in mind. I think that there's some teams that right now it looks like maybe it's a no bet, but it could turn into a bet. So
What's a Luton? Man, the more I come with this, even listen to Jordan Pickford the other day, like it just seems like the team is really full on celebrating being safe. I'm kind of liking Luton today. Kind of liking Luton. I'm gonna be watching that game. I'm gonna be curious to live bet that game today. So definitely be keeping an eye on that one. All right, sweet. All right,
what,
Matt. Huh?
this weekend? What are you doing this weekend?
It's my wife's 40th birthday tomorrow, so I've got that going on, and then Sunday. Yeah, I don't know. Normal Sunday.
Maybe. So I'm thinking I'm coming to Chicago this weekend.
Oh, sweet. Hit me up. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking maybe Sunday or something. We could like go get like I don't know, like a bite. Like we could watch a game or something. I don't know.
Yes, let's definitely do that. Saturday, I know I've got a couple surprises and even taking my wife out for
I know
dinner, but
I'm out of
Sunday is
commission
great.
Saturday.
Okay, Sunday's
Yeah,
great.
I'm out. Yeah, Sunday would be pretty cool. So I will hit you up and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Be sweet if we could go out to the Wrigley Sportsbook on DraftKings and catch that Liverpool match. So yeah, hit me up Saturday
That would
as you know when you're rolling in.
that would be very sweet. I would have Sarah with me, so you could meet Sarah. But or maybe she could she has so many friends up in Chicago. Maybe she'd be hanging out with a friend. I don't know. So
So it's a one
we'll
day
see.
trip.
No, I'm coming up today.
Oh, we're coming up today. Okay,
I'm
cool.
leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving in a couple hours.
I'll leave it a couple hours. Okay, sweet. Yeah, hit me up, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. So thanks so much for having me on. Let's cash some tickets this weekend.
Let's cash some tickets, boys. All right, Matt. Thanks, man.
Yep. See you, Jason. Bye.
All right, boys. Let's I'm gonna toss up all these bets here. Yeah, there's 2 people out there still watching. How long have I been doing this for? Hour and 15 minutes. That's not too bad. Let's get these up here. Bam. Bam. Also, who wants to turn $1 into $1,000? Do you want to do that? Do you want to do that? Do you want to turn $1 into $1,000? And then let me put this other bet up on the screen real quick. And then I'll tell you how I'm going to turn $1 into and I'll tell you how I'm going to turn $1 into 1,000. And then that bet in the Premier League only. This is how I'm going to turn $1 into 1,000. 10-leg money line parlay tonight in the MLB. Strap in, boys. Reds. Yeah, strap in, Adrian. This will get you your ladder climb real quick here, brother. Real quick. Reds. Rockies. Yankees. Royals. Red Sox. Astros. White Sox. Padres. Athletics. Dodgers. $1 can become a grand. Lock in, strap in. It's Friday night. Live a little bit, boys. Let's have some fun. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. Go enjoy your weekend. Go enjoy your weekend. Let's hit up the cash register tonight, boys. Got 8.5 units in play. Do look for me on Twitter. I'm looking to live bet this game. I'm feeling a little looting here today. So, all right, boys. Adrian, lock in on that parlay, man. A little 10-legger parlay for you there. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend, fellas. We'll catch up with you.